drives innovation? How can organizations become more innovative? This is not a simple ambition because becoming innovative is a complex quest. It's made up of many, many factors that come together. And so it's not just about focusing on one thing. Let's talk about some of those aspects of how organizations can become more innovative. Firstly, they have to create a culture of innovation. The way an organization does things must support innovation, or it could inhibit it and could actually be a barrier. Organizations need to assess the dominant mindset, narrative, and behavior patterns. And do these really enable employees to be creative and come up with new ideas? It's often called the think outside the box culture. Some organizations have it, while others don't. Often that's closely connected to labels of psychological safety. Do people feel safe enough to put forward new ideas, opinions, and thoughts that are not in line with the norm? Companies must give employees autonomy if they want to become more innovative. Micromanagement and input-based performance management limits innovation. If you are telling people exactly how to do their jobs and not just telling them what you want them to achieve, you give them no freedom of thought and no autonomy or ways to practice proactive ownership of what they've done. The likelihood of them coming up with new ideas of doing things or completely new ideas absolutely decreases. Employees who feel constrained and lack freedom won't take any risks. If they have low levels of ownership and autonomy, they are really unlikely to innovate. If employees don't feel a sense of freedom, responsibility, and ownership, they probably will end up feeling apathetic and appreciate the steady state. They will carry on chugging along and doing the job that they've been paid to do, as it's not in their interest to break out and try something new. Organizations need to nourish creativity if they want to become more innovative. Employees need their creative ideas to be heard, and whether those ideas are successful or not, or become part of an implementation or not, there needs to be an appreciation for creative thought. Employees must believe that there's a willingness to listen to new ideas, or they will simply hold back. Companies need to think about ways of encouraging creativity through non-traditional spaces and ways of engaging. Open up creative possibilities and spark the competence of creativity in people. Learning organizations are highly innovative because as they're operating, they are doing and delivering. They're reflecting on what they're learning in the process. That sparks ideas, creativity, and often innovation. Companies should not divorce the execution of tasks from the reflection of lessons learned. The idea is that some companies create a divorce between doing and learning, whereas learning organizations don't. They do it in a seamless way. That really is a shortcut to innovation because it's often born from reflection and retrospection. When people look back at what they've done and find the lessons or ways in which they could have done it better, that often sparks new ideas. Companies that want to innovate need to see failure as valuable. A fear of taking on risks and potentially failing will inhibit innovation. People won't want to try anything new if they think that they would get it wrong, they're going to be in trouble. Innovation requires an appetite for risk and a willingness to potentially fail. An organization that equates failure to learning and growth is actually poised for innovation because what they're saying to employees is that if they fail at something, it's an opportunity to learn. It's not a bad thing. It encourages employees to try things and to derive learnings from which ultimately end up in greater levels of innovation. Failure is actually a catalyst for innovation. The next way that organizations can raise the level of innovation is about leadership. If leaders support new ideas and support creative thought, that will create a culture of innovation. On the other side, they could shut it down and create levels of fear in employees. In leadership, openness to innovation is key. It sets the tone for whether employees believe that the organization wants new ideas and challenging opinions, or its leadership wants to shut that down. Recognizing new ideas, thanking people, and giving them recognition for coming up with new ways of doing things is an important way to drive up innovation. Employees that contribute new ideas and thoughts should be recognized regardless of whether those ideas are successful or whether they get implemented or not. Rewarding innovation incentivizes employees to think outside the box, and many companies have set up specific incentivization schemes which are directly focused on getting employees to think outside the box and come up with a new way of doing things, not just delivering the current job well. Initially, it might be more important to reward the innovative idea, not the outcome.